Hi YouTube, me again. My last video got over 100 views, which I'm really pleased about, because to be honest I didn't think anyone would watch it. So I've decided to make the second instalment of my embarrassing life. Now I realised that in the last video I didn't really tell you guys why I called this video blog My Embarrassing Life. Because to tell you the truth, my life really is like one big, long, extended episode of You've Been Framed. And if anybody followed me around with a video camera, I'm pretty sure the show would pay you millions. So for this video blog, I decided that I would give you an insight into how embarrassing my life and I really am. And I'd tell you 3 of my embarrassing moments. Actually, I had to count my fingers then. 3 of them. And yeah, my voice is probably going to get slowly more hysterical throughout the rest of this video because these are pretty mortifying. Okay, so number 3. Held up different fingers on that hand. It doesn't matter. Number 3. Happened to me when I was 15 years old, and I had to go to the dentist to have a filling done. And I'm pretty squeamish about everything, particularly needles. And obviously you have to have a needle in your gum to numb it so they can do this filling. And yeah, so before I went I cried, and when I got there standing in the waiting room I cried, and when the nurse came to say okay you can come in now, I started to scream and cry hysterically. So I got into the dentist chair, I was lying on my back and everything, and he came at me with this needle, and he was just on the verge of putting the tip into my gum when I jerked my head out of the way and my hand shot out and shoved him, physically assaulted my dentist, shoved him, and I swung my legs off the table, hopped onto the floor and ran the full length of his office to the fire exit on the other side, yanked the door open and made it a few yards out of the fire exit before my mother grabbed me and led me back and forcibly held me down. I was 15 years old. So yeah, that was pretty mortifying. Oh my god, okay. Number 2 happened to me when I was 16 years old, and I was in my last year at school, which probably makes this a little bit more pathetic than it should have been. And it was during my PE class, and you know the whole picking teams thing where 2 people are chosen as team captains and then they have to pick out of everyone else. Well, there were 2 team captains chosen. One of them was one of my friends. Yeah. And another one was some girl that I didn't really talk to, so I didn't expect to be picked by her. But I expected my friend to pick me. And she started to pick, and she picked all of her other friends, all of the other people that are in our little group, or were at the time. But she wasn't picking me, and I didn't understand why. I mean, yeah, I'm crap at PE, but so were all of them, you know? We were all in bottom set. Let's face it here. And I started to get really upset, and it ended up just being me and this other girl left. And I thought, okay, she's got to pick me now. But then the team leader from the other team picked me, so I had to go off and be on their team. And I was so upset by this point that I actually started to cry. You're all going to think I'm so pathetic, I just cry at everything. But I actually started to cry. And because I didn't want my friend who didn't pick me to see that I was crying because she didn't pick me, I decided to pretend that I was crying because of something else. Because of woman time of the month, women problems. So I was saying to my teacher, please can I go to the nurse, please can I go to the nurse, because I didn't want to participate in this lesson, because I didn't know any of the people on my team and I just didn't want to do it, and I felt betrayed and upset. So I was saying, please can I go to the nurse, and he was like, no, because to be honest he probably knew why I was really crying. And then he said that's my final word, and he walked away from me, and I decided to hysterically scream after him, sir, you try being a girl. And then I turned on my heel and marched the full length of my school sports hall, think football pitch here, with everybody staring at me. I stamped out of the room and slammed the door behind me. Probably wasn't the coolest of things to do. Okay. Oh no. And number 1, in my most cringeworthy, awful, embarrassing moments ever, this one is the mother of all embarrassing embarrassing moments, right? Well, me and my sister had been shopping for the day, and then her boyfriend had phoned her to say, do you want to come over for dinner? And because she was out with me, she said, oh, can Elle come too? And he said, yeah, that's fine. So we got to his, and his mum made us this lovely dinner, and yeah, we ate it all up and everything. And at the time I was actually trying to diet, because I'm always trying to diet, right? And yeah, afterwards, without asking us if we wanted any, she came in with these big bowls of Viennetta ice cream stuff, like the blocks of it. And I had 2 big blocks of this ice cream, and I was like, oh my god, I don't want to tell her that I don't want it, because that'll seem really ungrateful, especially when she went out of her way to make me dinner. But I don't want to eat it because, like, oh my god, major calories. So I thought, okay, I'll get rid of it somehow. So I picked up my bowl, and I subtly excused myself to go to the toilet, thinking I was going to flush all this ice cream down the toilet. So I got into the toilet, locked the door, with my bowl of ice cream, as if that didn't look stupid enough. And I picked up a big chunk of it and I put it in the toilet, and I flushed, and it didn't move, it just stayed there like a great big block. So I wrapped my hand in a towel, I picked it out of the toilet, and I thought, crap, what do I do now? It's all melting and horrible all over this towel. So I thought, okay, another way to get rid of it. I'll break it into little pieces and I'll stuff it down the sink. Oh my god, so there I was with this towel full of melted Viennetta ice cream, and I was breaking little pieces off and stuffing them into the sink. And you know, when it was all gone, I cleaned up as best I could, and I took my bowl back out and I went, that was lovely, yeah, I ate it while I was in the toilet, how hygienic. And yeah, I thought everything was okay. So a couple of hours later, she said, okay, I'll give you a lift home now. And my sister's boyfriend went into the toilet just before we left, and he came out with this look on his face, and I heard him say to my sister, why is the Viennetta on the tap in the bathroom, and on the towel, and on the floor? And I just went, oh my god. And then slowly it dawned on everyone what I'd done, and everybody just slowly turned their faces to look at me. And my face went bright red, and all I could come out with was, I ate it, I promise. Even though it was so obvious what I'd done. And yeah, I haven't been back since, and I don't think I'm ever gonna go back. So yeah, those are my top 3 most embarrassing moments. And you know, something like that generally happens to me on a weekly, if not daily basis. So you now have an insight. So it would really be nice if you could tell me one of your embarrassing moments, like in a comment or something, just to make me feel a little less like I do. Please. It'd be nice to share your pain as you are sharing mine by watching this video. So yeah, thanks. This has been episode 2. I'll see you guys soon.